Russell's Unpopular Essays, Philosophy and Politics, Critical Appreciation. In this essay, Russell defines his mature approach to politics and philosophy. He points out that Hegel's philosophy has dangerous political implications. On the other hand, he approves of the philosophy of Locke, to whose tradition of empiricism Russell himself belongs. Two peculiar facts distinguish the British nation from other nations of Europe in so far as attitude to philosophy is concerned. In the first place, the British have produced some excellent philosophers, yet, as a whole, the British nation holds philosophy as such in contempt. Russell believes that in both these respects the British demonstrate their wisdom. Russell also believes that bad philosophy can be positively dangerous and may justifiably be accorded the sort of negative respect which we give to other dangerous things. Good philosophy, on the other hand, deserves universal respect. The word philosophy does not have a fixed meaning. It means different things when used to describe certain features of historical cultures. As taught at Western universities, philosophy has been intended to be a pursuit of knowledge. In that respect, it has aimed at remaining immune from maintaining only what is convenient to the government. Some philosophers hold that philosophy is as objective as science and is not connected with politics or even with ethics. Unlike religion, philosophy does not appeal to authority or tradition. Unlike science, it concerned itself with telling men how to live. Their cosmological and ethical theories were closely interconnected, and many philosophers related ethics to political systems. Philosophy originated out of an attempt to harmonize science and religion. Like the former, philosophy concerns itself with the nature of the universe and of man's place in it, while, like the latter, it seeks the most desirable way of life. Theoretically speaking, Russell is not in favor of a rigid dissociation of philosophy from ethics, but wants it to concern itself with the good of humanity. Skepticism was the first step in the emergence of the empirical approach to philosophy, which became connected with liberalism and democracy and was antagonistic to dogma and arbitrary authority. The greatest empirical philosophers like Hume, Locke, and in ancient world Democritus and Protagoras were skeptics. Skepticism leads to liberalism because uncertainty can never coexist with tyranny and persecution. This liberalism leads to empiricism. John Locke, the founder of empiricism, was also in favor of democratic and representative institutes. Russell refuted the commonly held view that dogmatic fanaticism is in a position to defeat democratic liberalism because it is capable of producing greater social coherence. He insists that the lesson of history is that in all wars fought during last 3 centuries, it was always the more democratic side that won. It may seem that because of strong faith in the righteousness of its own cause, a fanatical government would be able to muster the support of its people more effectively. Liberalism born of empiricism is preferable to a totalitarian regime founded upon fanatical principles. Empiricists were vehemently opposed from the very beginning. Plato is generally regarded as a progressive and enlightened philosopher, but his political views were a strong reaction against the empiricism of Democritus and his followers. The Republic is in reality a book which advocates totalitarianism, and according to Russell, both Hitler and Marx were the disciples of Plato in this respect. Plato's conception of human progress excludes the idea of dynamism. Next to Plato, the most famous philosopher who opposed empiricism was Hegel. His philosophy is very opposing and high sounding, but it is in reality so absurd and obscure that it is incredible that any sane person would accept it. Hegel's notion of the absolute idea proved to be the very basis of fanatical regimes. Hegel's philosophy has dangerous political implications. It would make implicit obedience to arbitrary authority implied upon the citizen. It would permit censorship, sport, monarchy, and totalitarianism, justify war, and grand efforts to outlaw war as against the interest of humanity. Both Marxism and German militarism are offshoot of Hegelianism. It was Hegel who was responsible for providing theoretical justification for raising the state to the position of godhood. Empiricism is the only philosophy which provides a theoretical justification of democracy and also accords with the democratic temper. Locke was the founder of empiricism. So far as the modern world is concerned, his philosophy clearly supports liberty and religious toleration and opposes absolute monarchy. He emphasizes on the uncertainty of human knowledge is a useful precaution against dogma. He proposed a liberal theory of politics which was a pitchwork political doctrine which had to be tested at each point by its success or failure in actual practice. Russell advocates empiricist liberalism as the creed which is the most rational as well as of the greatest benefit to the modern world. The empirist theory of knowledge would make dogmatism, fanaticism, and precaution of dissidents out of the question because all these require an unshakable belief in the rightness of one's own cause. The empiricist is not fanatical even in his support of democracy. The empiricist does not swear by the immutable finality of any explanation. No empiricist liberal government would dream of burning heretics because it would always lack certainty whether such a step would be conducive to the spiritual welfare of the survivors. On the other hand, a communist regime would never have any compunctions about liquidation of thousands of dissidents because it would hold the dogmatic belief that all those who does not uncritically support the government are its enemies. A liberal government would seldom think the imposition of present hardship on people good because it might produce some future benefit. The empiricist demands rational evidence for his beliefs and regards the utilitarian principle of the happiness of mankind to be of far greater importance than the prevalence of any peculiar creed. As Russell concludes, our confused and difficult world needs various things if it is to escape disaster, and among these, one of the most necessary is that in the nations which still uphold liberal beliefs, these beliefs should be wholehearted and profound, not apologetic toward the dogmatism of the right or of the left, but deeply persuaded of the value of liberty, scientific freedom, and mutual forbearance. For without these beliefs, the life on our politically divided but technically unified planet will hardly continue to be possible. If you like the video, subscribe our channel. Don't forget to press the like button. Share with your friends. Comment below for your suggestions. Thanks for watching.